well-known Chinese proverb says, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for one day. But teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. And yes, we agree with this, but in Pave we believe we need to go further. A man cannot catch many fish with his bare hands, so we want to provide him with the tools, the fishing rod, the line, the hooks, whatever it is they need. We do this through further education. Primary and secondary education benefit the students in gaining knowledge, but sadly jobs are so scarce in northern Mozambique that many post-secondary students will find themselves without dependable employment, selling cashew nuts or phone credit or vegetables on the streets, and even worse, at turning to selling drugs or drink, or in the case of the female students, to prostitution, as their families can no longer provide for them. Mozambique is a country in Southeast Africa with the Indian Ocean to the east. Although it is a beautiful country, Mozambique has gone through a hard time. In 1995, Mozambique was classified as the second poorest country in the world, due primarily to the 7 years war after the colonialism and a 20-year war which left the country devastated. Now, however, they have discovered gas, and this has helped to boost the economy, so much so that now Mozambique has been classified as the 16th poorest country in the world, but it is still only the 16th out of 200 countries. Out of 10 young people who leave school, only 5 or 6 will probably find any form of work. So they become disillusioned, they feel let down by society and even by God, thinking that all these years of study were pointless. In effect, they have been taught how to fish, but they're still catching only the odd fish with their bare hands. In northern Mozambique, where so many live just above the poverty line, there is a strong culture of helping each other amongst the villagers. A young person feels responsible for his or her extended family and even for their neighbors. If he or she does well, they are expected to help in some way. So when you help a young person to rise above the poverty line through acquiring a qualification, you are indirectly helping a family or even a community to improve the quality of their lives. An average monthly income for a street vendor could be approximately £40 a month, barely enough to feed a family of 4 on rice and beans, 1 meal a day. A shop assistant, a guard, or a waiter could make about £60 a month, enough for him to afford a few fish to add to the rice and beans, and perhaps to pay for the primary child's or younger siblings' school books and uniform. A qualified professional or tradesman who can earn around £300 a month or more, which is 5 times what the waiter would earn. Thus, they are in a position to not only feed their extended family, but also to pay for their children or younger siblings to attend secondary education and eventually even further education. Instead of supporting one child indefinitely, you help support a young person for 4 years, and then they take over and in turn support their own. So Pave is more like a 4-year family and community life-changing vision. You have given them the tools to fish and for them to enable others to fish too, so that gradually the community becomes self-supporting, and this brings dignity to the family, and eventually we begin to change a third world nation.
If you know that Jesus loves you, clap your hands. If you know that Jesus loves you, clap your hands. If you know that Jesus loves you, that He really, really loves you. If you know that Jesus loves you, clap your hands. If you know that
As a Christian charity, Pave believes that Jesus came to bring abundant life. We focus primarily on students who believe that they have God-given dreams to be teachers, nurses, doctors, mechanics, teaching them that with God, nothing is impossible, even though to them the dream may seem 1,000 miles away for them. So when they do get to attend further education, all the glory goes to God.
I thank God to help my life and help me to study in university. And I thank God for my mama girl give me this opportunity to go to university. And I would like that Mama Del continue to help me in this course. Now I think that God have blessed you, Mama Del, and bless the Pave organization that help me now. Thank you, God.
Psalm 127. Our psalm in Pave says, "Unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it." We also feel very committed to ensuring that all the funds are used in the correct manner. Ephesians 4:28 says, "Let the thief no longer steal, but rather let him labor, doing honest work with his own hands, so that he may have something to share with anyone in need. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for one day. But if you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime." If you feel that you could help in any way to help realize these young people's dreams and aspirations, we would love you to get in contact with us. Please do.